I don't know what is going on with all these accusations. We started off 2025 talking about lawsuits. We started off 2026 talking about lawsuits. We just talked about producer, director, actor Tyler Perry has a second gentleman that came forward accusing him of sexual assault. Now, Will Smith, who is beloved by a lot of people like Will Smith. Will Smith is being accused of sexual harassment by a former employee who says that they were terminated because they complained about sexual harassment. Let's go ahead and get into this story. Oh boy, not the Fresh Prince.
A violinist is suing Will Smith, claiming retaliation after he alleges that he was fired for reporting sexual harassment while on tour with Smith. Brian King Joseph filed the lawsuit in California earlier this week, accusing Smith of deliberately grooming him for sexual exploitation. Joseph says the two began spending time alone together during Smith's tour, and he says Smith allegedly told him that they had a, quote, special connection. It also details an alleged traumatic series of events, that's a quote, including Joseph finding that someone had allegedly entered his hotel room while he was not there.
So notice that he is using the word grooming. So hold on to that for a second. Because there have been rumors, and I say rumors because ain't nobody coming to sue me. There have been rumors that another actor was groomed by Will Smith. It's a rumor. I have no proof of this, etc. But this is interesting that he's using that word. Let's continue on more here.
After reporting the incident to police, he alleges a representative for Smith accused him of lying and fired him. Smith denies these allegations. NBC News correspondent Liz Kreutz joins us now. Liz, this is all new. What else are we learning about these allegations, including the alleged intrusion?
Yeah, Kate. So according to the complaint, this all happened in March of last year while the violinist was on tour with Will Smith for Smith's global tour for his latest album based on a true story. And according to the complaint, there was this intrusion at his Las Vegas hotel room. He came back to his hotel, he says, and found that there was no forced entry, but that someone had entered the room and left a number of items there. And according to the complaint, there was a letter, the handwritten letter that was written that said, "Brian, I'll be back, just us," with a drawn heart. And it was signed by someone who identified as Stone F. There were also wipes, a beer bottle, a red backpack, a bottle of HIV medication with another person's name on it, an earring, and hospital discharge paperwork belonging to a person that was unknown to the defendant. So the defendant, his name is Brian King Joseph. He then reported this to police, the hotel staff, and he also said he reported it to Smith's management team. But he claims that he was then shamed by Will Smith's management team, accused of lying, and he says he was then fired. And then shortly after he was fired, they said they were going in a different direction, but then they ended up hiring another violinist. So he is now suing for, among other things, emotional distress and economic loss, Kate.
And Liz, how are Smith and his attorney responding?
Well, they're adamantly denying all of these claims. Smith's attorney has released a statement. We can read it here. It says, "Mr. Joseph's allegations concerning my client are false, baseless, and reckless. They are categorically denied, and we will use all legal means available to address these claims and to assure that the truth is brought to light."
So Will Smith is denying these allegations. I'm going to get into more details here because that's just like a quick summary of it. In this article, again, it says Will Smith's sexual harassment accuser shared a video explaining why he spoke out days before filing the complaint. So this is another thing. He spoke out before he filed the complaint. Let's go on here. Make this bigger for people in the back there. Da, da, da. So Brian King Joseph and his is suing Will Smith and his company for sexual harassment, allegedly wrongful termination, and retaliation. And he shared a video hinting at the legal matter days before he filed the complaint in court. He filed a complaint at the Superior Court of California, County of LA on Tuesday, December 30th. Against the Bad Boy star, who's 57 years old, and Trey Ball Studios management Inc. and alleged that Smith was deliberately grooming and priming Mr. Joseph for further sexual exploitation after an alleged incident that Joseph claimed took place while he toured with Smith for his global tour based on a true story in March of 2025. So let's just interject here for a second. I told you there have been rumors before that others say have been groomed by someone like Will Smith. I don't know if everybody remembers the show Empire, but there was a show called Empire, and it was about a musical family. Terrence Howard was in it, Taraji P. Henson, very, very talented people on the show. And Terrence P. Howard's character, Lucius, and his kids, his boys, minus Andre, they were musically talented. So they were artists. And one of them being Jamal, who was played by Jussie Smollett, who I think we all know that story about Jussie Smollett's allegations about what happened to him. And the other one was an actor named Bashir Gray, and he played Hakeem, the character Hakeem. There have been rumors for years that Bashir Gray was groomed by Will Smith. Again, allegedly. Multiple rumors about this. You guys can look this up for yourself. And Bashir Gray was very young at the time getting into the industry. From what I understand from his story, originally he wanted to get into the music industry. And he ended up getting, an acting gig first. He got this job on the show Empire, and he really exploded and blew up. Now, what was alleged was that apparently once he started getting into acting, he moved out there to LA to be in the area, obviously, for auditions, etc. And that apparently Will Smith kind of took him under his wing. Then as time went by, something really weird started to happen with Bashir Gray. He started to act out in ways that people described as unusual. Some people said recently he was on OnlyFans now. I don't know. It's sad because he was very talented. He could act, he could sing, he could rap. The last thing that I saw him in was the New Edition miniseries TV story where he played, I think he played, was he Ricky or was he? No, he wasn't Ricky. He was, dang, I forget. He wasn't Ricky. Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike. Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike. He was Mike. He played Michael Bivins' character. It's sad I had to say the song that I remember. But anyway, he played that character. Again, incredibly talented. And then as you notice, towards the end of Empire in the last season, you didn't see as much of him. And he's ended up in a lot of trouble along the way. He's been arrested. He's had a lot of problems. But there were rumors that Will Smith was supposed to be helping him and that Will Smith groomed him. So just something to keep in mind. I don't know for sure, but that has been a rumor for quite some time. The musician shared a video on Instagram in which he seemed to allude to Smith's tour and his pending lawsuit. Earlier this year, I was hired to be a performer on a major tour with somebody who was huge in the industry. I was excited, proud of myself for getting the opportunity. Unfortunately, some things happened. I can't get too into the details of exactly what that was because it's already a legal issue right now. But the reason why I'm speaking out is because getting fired or getting blamed or shamed or threatened or anything like that simply for reporting sexual misconduct or safety threats at work is not okay. I know that there's a lot of other people out there who have been afraid to speak out, and I understand. And if that's you, I see you, he added. And that's pretty much it. More updates to come soon. Thanks for listening. So that's him here. I don't know if it'll let me play it because sometimes.
Hey everybody, I just wanted to talk about something really important. Earlier this year, I was hired to be a performer on a major tour with somebody who is huge in the industry. So I was excited, proud of myself for getting the opportunity. Unfortunately, some things happened, and I can't get into the details of exactly what that was because it's already a legal issue right now. But the reason why I'm speaking out about this is because getting fired or getting blamed or shamed or threatened or anything like that simply for reporting sexual misconduct or safety threats at work is not okay. And I know that there's a lot of other people out there who have been afraid to speak up, and I understand. And if that's you, I see you. And that's pretty much it. More updates to come soon. Thanks for listening.
Now, someone already said it, and I was just going to bring this up. You know what doesn't help? These are accusations at this point in time. But you know what doesn't help? Danny said it was an entanglement, Sabby. Remember when Will Smith, I think they are separated now, whatever. Remember when Jada Pinkett had that show called the Red Room Table or the Red Table or whatever, Red Table Talk, something like that. And it was kind of this space where her and sometimes her mom and her daughter and others, they would get together and just kind of air their grievances and just let it all out. The conversations that we felt like we probably shouldn't hear some of those things. There was one in particular where Jada Pinkett and Will Smith participated in the Red Table Talk together. And that was when we all found out about this entanglement, where apparently Jada Pinkett was seeing another gentleman, younger guy by the name of Austin. I believe that was his name. And Will Smith said during that segment that he said, yeah, and then what happened, Jada? He said, you became emotionally attached. What I gathered from that conversation was that it seemed like they may have had an open relationship. That's their business. But it seems as though that once she started to have develop feelings for the person that she was seeing outside of her husband, it seemed like that was when Will had a problem with it, that you were becoming emotionally involved. August, thank you. I think I said Austin. August, yeah, a younger dude. Here's the thing, okay? Some things don't need to be shared with the world. I remember when that conversation took place and I'm like, you guys just let everybody like into your bedroom. And I guess like with Jada, she wanted to be vulnerable. You ain't got to be vulnerable at everything. Like you ain't got to reveal everything. And what I've seen some people say online is, well, they had an open relationship. So when this story came out, people are like, well, didn't they have an open relationship? So you see, like that's something that people are trying to use. And they're saying, well, they had this open relationship. So who knows? Maybe he did this to this guy or not. We don't know. But when you put all of your business out there like that, some things are meant to be private for a reason. And you can be, bare and truthful with people, but that don't mean you have to tell the world everything. And now people may have different opinions about this. It is what it is, but I don't believe in open relationships. That's just me. I never did. And the reason why is because I feel like if I'm with someone, I'm with that person. I am with you and you and you and you and you. And some people are okay with that. Some people are not okay with that. That's fine. But I never believed in open relationships. I think it causes problems. I think it causes too much drama. Sometimes people end up pregnant. Like sometimes people end up with STDs. I don't have time for that. But I look back on that and I wonder, had it not been for that Red Table Talk and all that put out there like that, I wonder if people would be saying the things they're saying online right now. We may never know. But right now, Will Smith is accused. And this is going to be interesting because, like I said, that is someone in Hollywood that a lot of people like. We'll have to stay tuned. Have to stay tuned, ladies and gents. All right, all right, all right. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.